Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's April 28th, 2022, and today I thought I'd respond to one of the comments and questions that I got from Tim from Tim's Permaculture Homestead. Shout out to Tim. Really appreciate all your feedback on the videos and all, and Thea and I both enjoy your channel as well. And for those people who want to search for it, it's Tim's Permaculture Homestead. Yesterday I had walked outside with my GoPro grip and gimbal. Let me grab that. It is right here. And I've made videos in the past about how my gimbal, and that's the part that hooks into the grip. So this is the grip and this is the gimbal. The gimbal actually, the grip, and a Hero 5, GoPro Hero 5, as well as the Karma drone, all came together, I believe, in a big package that I bought 5 years ago. And I made a video not too long ago mentioning that that I have the GoPro subscription, and so the GoPro Hero 5 wasn't working so well. And I sent that in to GoPro, and they sent me back a brand new GoPro Hero 9. No cost to me. That was wonderful. Then I mentioned to them, I called them back up and let them know that my gimbal, my grip was still working fine, my drone was still working fine, but the gimbal, the part that actually stabilizes video, was actually acting erratic at times. And if you watch some of my videos from a couple years ago, you could see that when I'd be shooting down at the beaver pond, you'd see things being shaky, and that was the gimbal acting up, and it kept getting worse and worse. But I ended up calling GoPro customer service, and since I had the subscription, I sent in my old gimbal and I got my new gimbal back. So yesterday I took this out and I took it for a walk with the GoPro Hero 7 Black in it. And that's a video that Tim had actually commented on. Geez, that video looks pretty good. What you can't tell in the video is that I have a severe limp right now. So my hand is actually moving up and down as I'm walking around outside and all. And the combination of what's called Hyper Smooth, which is the firmware and software that's within the GoPro Hero 7, along with the stabilization of the gimbal, actually almost completely eliminates the possibility of someone detecting that I had such a severe limp walking around. So Tim, I know there's a long intro, Tim had said, geez, I need to get a gimbal. So these, I'm sorry, I'm sweating right now, I'm in a little bit of pain. The gimbals that I have purchased, like recently I just purchased another gimbal. This is a Hohem Steady Pro 4, and this is the first one that I've gotten from this company. And it is a very nice gimbal. It is designed for working specifically with the GoPro Hero 9 and 10. So here it is, the Hohem iSteady Pro 4. And I have a GoPro Hero 7 Black in it right now. Now I do have the GoPro Hero 9 and the GoPro Hero 10, but I have 3 of these GoPro Hero 7s. And this is a nice gimbal. I got this after seeing so many YouTubers reviewing the differences between all the gimbals that are out there. And this is pretty nice. It isn't as smooth as my GoPro Grip gimbal. You could see more of the lack of stabilization. Now, I guess what I wanted to say, Tim, is that with the way that you're shooting videos, I don't know that you actually need a gimbal necessarily. And this is less expensive, and this is newer, that can work with other up-to-date GoPro cameras. So like the Hero 9, the Hero 10, and pretty soon this fall they'll be coming out with a Hero 11, I'm sure. And I know that they're coming out with other ones as well. And right now I'm a big fan of getting their subscriptions because you can get easily $100 off on any camera that you get from them. But this gimbal is designed to work with them. And it has a battery inside of the grip itself. And this can connect to the Hero 9 and Hero 10. It doesn't, the remotes on this, now let me just power this up. Now with a Hero 9 or Hero 10, I could control whether I'm shooting photos or videos or doing time lapse by hitting buttons here on the handle itself. I could hit the record button and either take a photo, start a time lapse, or start recording a video and then hit it here. That isn't going to work with a Hero 7, but it still is a darn good thing, unless they come up with a firmware update for it. But its stabilization is really, really good. It's for a camera that doesn't have internal stabilization, like the Hero 7 has Hypersmooth. I believe that was the first stabilization software or firmware that they actually put in the GoPro cameras. Now they've become more evolved in the 8, 9, and 10. And their hardware is actually much better as well. But I just wanted to show you this, so if I want to go down low and shoot video right next to the ground or get up close to something, it works extremely well. So this is probably a more modern one, and I believe this is about $109, where let me just turn the power off on this. So with the grip, if you were to buy the grip and the gimbal, and let me just turn this one on for a second. Or we'll turn it on. Okay. So that's on now, and this one I can control the Hero 5, Hero 6, and Hero 7. I don't know that it works with the Hero 8. I'm not certain about that, but it certainly works with the GoPro Hero 7. It's completely controlled with your thumb here, what you want to do. And the thing that I like about this is you can actually take your hand and change the angle. So if I want to get down and look at things down low, it'll maintain that angle until I adjust it and move it back and forth. It doesn't upset the gimbal at all. It actually works extremely well, and it has all the modes for taking video, time lapse, and all. And you could start the record. You heard it start recording, so I'm recording this camera right now, and stop recording. So I think I like this one the most. It seems to give me the most stable images that I can possibly get. The other grip that I've talked about recently is what's called the Volta. This will take any camera on it. It's really designed for the Hero 9 and Hero 10. This is a GoPro product, and if you have the subscription, you can get I think it's 30% off or 50% off, something like that. It has a little bit of a stand out. It has another attachment, finger attachment on the side as well. That's very stable. It can control your Hero 9 and Hero 10. It has a battery backup inside of it as well. What I've got attached to the top of it right now is a housing that the cameras actually go into to make it for an external microphone and with wind suppression as well. I think that this is very good. The main reason that I bought these is because it's real easy for Thea to get used to. I like it because it has a tripod and it has a spot for me to hook up another larger tripod, and it has this finger mount that I can hook onto my chest mount. Bear with me one second. I'm just going to set this down. I'm not going to go through the whole activity of this one. But speaking of chest mounts, that's that thing you see on my chest now. I'll raise this up a little bit so you can see it. So this is just a standard chest mount on here. And I ended up investing, and none of the equipment that I'm talking about, I'm not sponsored by anyone. You're just getting my honest opinion about things. This is called a snap, and I'll try to make sure that I put links to all these things in the description below. But this snap is a magnetic attachment. Now you may see in some of the videos I'm actually taking the cameras and mounting them on the hood of the tractor, mounting them all over the place. Even in our work area, I'm mounting metal plates on the walls so that I can use these snap-on systems. So this right here is a Hero 9, and I've got it attached to a magnetic mount, and I just set it there, and this way here I have both hands free, so if I'm working with plants in the garden or whatever it is, I can work with it. And of course this is going to be universal. It can snap onto any metal object. They have the more expensive one, which I have a couple of, has multiple receivers. So this has a receiver on this chest mount. So I can have these mounted all different places. I can change the angle so I can look down. I can change the angle so that I can look up somewhat. You can invert this as well. So this way you can actually point to things and handle things. You can actually have a wind suppressor on your on the camera itself, so it decreases the wind sounds, which sounds much better. But when we hold a camera right in our hand, directly in our hand, all those little subtle movements that we make noise on the camera, and it gives us somewhat jerky motion, even though there is the hyper smooth stabilization in the video itself, in the camera itself. So even just having on one of these things here, this is a GoPro, I don't know, I'm going to call it a GoPro clamp mount. So it clamps onto different bars. I hooked this on all the equipment, onto tripods, everything. These things are as tough as can be. One of the things I would say, the accessories that GoPro has, I think they're a bit overpriced compared to what you can get on Amazon, but they hold up a heck of a lot better. And if you have the subscription, sorry about all my sweating here, these seem to be much better, much more durable, and they're less expensive if you have the subscription. So just by holding on to something like this, or a simple grip, or a selfie stick, I think that as long as you're just cognizant of what you're doing and you have hyper smooth enabled, you'll have pretty good video. And as long as you don't get too close where it goes out of focus, these things will work. You'll notice in some of my videos I'll move the camera I'll move it along too quickly, and that distorts looking at some of the seedlings and all. So I need to slow down when I'm doing that as well, because the stabilization is trying to find something and stabilize it, and it's just blurring it some. So that takes care of my thoughts. So I'll put a link to some of these objects down below. I am a big fan of because of my recent experiences with GoPro, with their customer service, their replacement plan and all. It has worked out extremely well. And I think that's about it. I really do like the snap mount system. You can mount it on your anything that's metal. That really works out. So I'm able to get some cool shots of things that I wasn't able to get before. I do love these grip mounts. You can change them and put them in any direction. You know, these really work extremely well. And what did I just do? I just turned this one on. Actually, I just turned it off. So one of the questions that Tim also asked was, what settings do I use for my Hero 7? First thing I would say with my GoPro Heroes, what I do with them regularly is, you know, like at least once a week, I format the disk in it, the small hard drive, that small disk that goes in it, the SSD card. I format that at least once a week. That way I have less issues with things going wrong. When I'm using it, I usually use 4K 30 frames per second, and I don't go any further than wide. So when I pull down on the screen, you can get to all the different preferences. But if I just touch on the bottom part there, where everything is. I always want to see just where we are. So if I do the 4K 30, I want to make sure that the format is 16 by 9 as opposed to 4 by 3. And if you see 16 by 9, you can click it and then you get 4 by 3. And so now it's saying that it's not supported, the 4K by 30. So I'm going to click it again. I want 16 by 9. The 4 by 3 is like old television sets, kind of narrower, not as widescreen as they are today. The 4K gives you higher resolution. A lot of people will choose 2.7K. A lot of the time, as long as I'm not shooting a time lapse where I'm walking down in a field, I'll do the 1080p, 1080 and 30 frames per second. But I think it's fine. 4K, 30 frames per second, and then I back out from there and leave it as wide. Sometimes I'll do linear. The more, when you have hyper smooth, the stabilization going on, it crops the image down some. So you lose some of the width of it. But out on a farm, and when you're showing crops and all, I'd say leave the stabilization on, and it's okay to sacrifice a little bit of the side to get better stabilization. I don't like having it super wide or super view. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, super view is the other one. That distorts the edges and makes them more fishbowl looking, more curved. So the trees as you walk by look bowed and all when they aren't actually bowed. So those are the basic settings. If you have more specific questions about the settings and all, please leave a comment below and I'll try to update it. I'm just running out of strength here standing up right now. So I hope this video was of value, and I'll try to put a link to all these things in the description below when I get a chance. Thanks so much for watching, folks. Take good care of yourselves and have a great day. Take care, Tim. Bye-bye now.